staying focused and aligned to your goals as a math coordinator, math leader, a math coach, an administrator, a district leader, a superintendent is sometimes tricky. Then we know new initiatives come into play. We know things get added to our plates. We know that all of a sudden focus changes because all of a sudden something happens and we have to like direct attention over here, and all of a sudden things kind of take away from the original focus you had at the beginning of the year. You had these goals in mind. By the end of the year, I want to hit this. By the end of the year, I'm going to set these mini goals. I'm going to set these objectives that I want to work towards for the year, because these are the top 3 things that are most important to support my teachers with in effective pedagogy or in effective mathematics learning for them, but also to translate into the classroom. And sometimes those new initiatives, those new kind of projects push some of our old priorities to the side. And I just want to show you 2 tools we're using to keep alignment, to keep focus, just so that we know that, because those 3 things you said at the beginning of the year are still important to you. You still want to work towards them, but it's like, well, what have I done? Like, what have I done on those? I'm not sure, because we've lost a little bit of focus, a little bit of priority along the way. And that's no fault of yours. It's just how the job unfolds through the year. Testing all of a sudden happens and we take that focus. But 2 tools that we're using, make things a little bit easier. And we start high level and we work lower. And I just want to show you that this first tool, which we call kind of our action plan progress tracking sheet. So what we're doing is, once we decide, what our 3 most important priorities are at the beginning of the year, what we're going into the year is like, hey, if I'm supporting math instruction in the classroom and I have access to coaches, or it's just me, or maybe I have, channels like email or PD sessions or coaching sessions or PLC sessions, I've got curriculum resources over here. How do I want to organize all this? But also, what is my main objective? What's our goals? And we always say, like, pick 3. Don't pick more than 3. Otherwise, we're not going to focus on, you're focusing on too many. But when you pick those goals, what are those objectives? You now need to go, what am I going to do this year to make sure that I get closer to those goals? And we call those key results. And we talked about that in one of our webinars. Our planning webinar is how do I create those key results? What are the things I need to think about? But they're SMART goals, really. They're SMART goals to say, by the end of the year, we're going to get this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then we have to go, what's the plan of attack? What are the things that we're going to do? And so those are called action items. And so what we like to do is we like to plan out at the beginning of the year, what are the action items? What action items pertain to which key result? And how do I going to measure all of that? And how do I track it? Because I think that's the part that we get pulled in different directions. It's like, how do I know, or how do I stay focused on the things that I said I wanted to do? And our tracking sheet here is a great tool that we're using to help kind of track that progress in this particular way. So you can see, up on our tracking sheet, we listed all the action items, this particular district that we're actually helping support on their goals, that they listed that these are the things they wanted to do to support this key result, which actually supports this objective that they're focusing on. It's an improvement goal for math instruction in their district. And, they're checking this off. They've got, we haven't written in the goal dates right here, but the goal dates are important to say, hey, I want to hit this by this date. Is it is a semester 1 goal? Is it a month 1 goal? Is it a month 2 goal? What are our plans here? And then, once you hit them, you're checking them off. And so you can see which of the key results or the action items you want to hit. You got a new one that comes up. This is the nice thing. What we're finding as the high level vision is that all of a sudden a new initiative or a new action item has to be on your plate. You go, which objective or which key result does it help me with right now? And do I have to do it? Because if it doesn't help me achieve, say, this key result or one of these key results, maybe I add it to a list that is not top priority right now. It's down the line list. This helps you, this filter helps you prioritize the things that come onto our plates. And if it does, if you go, hey, if I do that, that actually will get us closer. I just didn't think of it at the beginning. Add it to the list. Put a date on it. See if we can hit it. Does it interfere with the things you already said were important? Having this focus helps us stay true to the things that we want, because all of a sudden, if we get off track, we come back to this tracking sheet to go, where are we on the things we said we wanted to improve this year? Are we, are we getting into more classrooms? Are we, focusing our PLCs on mathematics learning, proficiency, and models, strategies, fluency for our teachers? How many of those sessions have I done? Have I done the 7 that I wanted to do this year? Those are the things that kind of can bring you back to say, how many goals, how many actions can we check off our list this year to move us closer to the main goal? That's an important piece. We're finding a lot of success in there to stay focused. That's which is a major concern in our field of supporting math educators. Another one we shared is our touch point schedule. It's like, this is the next kind of layer down, is to go, okay, can I stay focused on rolling out the support I give? Like, what are the channels? Making sure that we're aligning the work you want to do with the levels of support that you're giving. Are we targeting and helping our administrators understand what good mathematics instruction looks like? How are we helping our coaches? What are the channels I have available to my coaches? Am I meeting with them weekly? Am I meeting with them every month? Am I emailing them almost like a little mini course where I can give them nuggets, breadcrumbing along? That's how we use this tool, which we outline at the beginning of the year. How can I walk them through the things they need to know about, so that it comes April, and we just have to look to what we're supposed to do in April. Did we check them off the list? We know these mini things, these little things will add up. And if I just focus on the little things, it actually adds to the big thing. So these are 2 tools we're using right now in supporting the educators that we're helping move along, in the targets that we're setting for ourselves as schools or as districts. How are you making sure you don't lose focus of what you wanted? Like, did you set up your goals at the beginning of the year? If not, why not? And do you think it's important? What are the top 3 priorities that you want to hit this year? What are the action plans to try to move you and the district closer to those things? Having those things is really important for getting teacher buy-in, because teachers will see that, if there's no real consistent focus, they're every time it's all of a sudden a new focus. They don't want to all of a sudden make shifts, because every year it's a new focus. Well, does that mean last year's focus was not important? And they start to learn that behavior. And I as a teacher learned that behavior. I used to say, well, it'll be a new focus next year. Let's worry about what we're doing in our classrooms. I know what's good in my classroom. I just say that out loud. Now, that may be true for a bunch of your teachers. Your bright spots are saying those things, and you're probably okay with it. It's the other teachers that are like, they just need that motivation to go, or that extra next step, or they need to have that math epiphany that says, like, that's the way I could do it. Okay, I'm going to take that step. Staying focused will help you. What tools are you using to help you stay focused? Are you making sure you're checking off your goals or your action items during the year? It's a really important work that you're doing. All we want to do is make sure you stay aligned to that really important work. All right, let me know if you are tracking your goals in different ways. I'd love to see them.